the shortcut for graphing equations? When you have an equation, remember the first way we learned is you can plug numbers in. Everyone put their iPads away. Okay, the long way, and you can do this with any equation. When we get into quadratics, you could do it this way. You can plug any number in you want, and then figure out what y would be. Then it'd be -1. I could put 1 in, but then I'd get a fraction, so 3 would work the best, because 2/3 times 3 minus 1, the 3's cancel, and you get 1. And then you can plot those points and graph it. Because remember, there's an unlimited amount of answers, infinity. So the shortcut is you first graph the y-intercept, that's b, put a point there, and from that point you do the slope. You rise 2 and you run 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And there you got 2 points. Make sure you put the arrows on there. Okay, the worksheet that I'm correcting that you guys did on Monday.
Not page 230.
No.
There is one 230, but there was a worksheet that I'm correcting. I still haven't finished from Monday, where a lot of you are just putting a line with no arrows on it, or you're just connecting them like this. Okay, you need to understand that the solutions aren't just from here to here. They keep going forever up this way and forever down this way. Every point on this line is an answer if we did the chart. Okay? So, everyone able to do the quick shortcut fairly well? Okay, so today what we're going to have is the equations are going to be, well, before I do that, I just want to remind you, if you have just an x or just a y, remember if it's x equals 2, it crosses the x-axis at 2. If it's y equals -3, it crosses the y-axis at -3. So what kind of slope does this line have?
Zero.
0. And what kind of slope does this have? No slope. Okay? So, today the equations are going to be in standard form.
Thank you.
Okay, 2x plus 4y equals 8. We did these before where we found the x and y intercepts to plot, to graph them. The x and y intercepts are, if you put 0 in for x, that would disappear. What would y have to be? 2. So the y-intercept is 2. To find the x-intercept, we put 0 in for y. That would make 0, so what would x have to be? 4. So that's the x-intercept at 4. And then you could draw the line that way. So it's pretty simple to do it this way, as long as all these numbers are nice to work with. But if we had one like this, it's not as easy to figure out. So what we're doing today is you're going to have it written, this is called standard form. Standard form is the x and y's are on the same side. And what we're going to do is change to slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. I guess I didn't talk about that, but they call it slope-intercept because they give you the slope and they give you the intercept. Now, we did this in the last test where you had an equation like this and it said solve for y. Remember doing those? So the reason why we learned that before this is because we're going to have to solve for y, and once you do solve for y, Once you do solve for y, then it's gonna be in slope-intercept form. Okay? So that's what it means to change the slope-intercept form, it just means solve for y. So, we gotta move the 2x over. Before, it didn't matter where we put it, we just put it after the 9, but we might as well keep it right after the equal, because then it'd be the mx. We'd have 3y equals, this would change to negative 2x. This doesn't change. So now we did the first step, we got the x and y on the opposite sides, but we gotta do one more thing. Divide everything by 3. So now it's y equals negative 2/3 x plus 3. 2x over 3 you can just write as 2/3. So now we can graph it quickly. It crosses where? At 3. And the slope is?
I went down 2.
Down 2 and over 3. Down 2 and over 3. Okay? So today's problem, they're going to be in standard form. You got to put it into slope-intercept form and then graph it. Okay, now let's not do a big number like that, we'll just do 1. Okay, this one is fairly easy. All we got to do is move the 4x over. So it would be negative y equals negative 4x plus 1. But I still don't have the y by itself. Change all the signs. Positive y, positive 4x, minus 1. So this one crosses at negative 1 with the slope of 4. So remember, if it's not a fraction, make it a fraction. So I got to rise 4 and run 1. Okay. So here I got to move the 2x over. It would change to negative 2x plus 21. These don't change signs because I didn't move them. Then you divide by negative 7. So you'd have y equals negative over negative is positive 2/7 x. Positive over negative is negative 3. So that crosses at negative 3 with a slope of 2/7. So I rise 2, run 7. Okay? Now here's one that's so simple that it might be hard. All I got to do is move the x over. So I have y equals negative x plus 0, right? Which you wouldn't need. It would just be negative x, but that's not wrong if you put the 0 on there. So where does this cross at? 0. And the slope is? Down 1 over 1. Remember, if there's nothing in front of the x, that means it's a 1 there. So I go down 1 over 1. Just a shortcut for you, because we eventually will see these a lot. We'll see y equals negative x and y equals positive x. Y equals negative x is the 45 going down this way. Y equals x goes this way. Because it'd be 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Okay? Alright,